These videos are some of the most popular Tour Pro range sessions on YouTube. I analyzed all of them. I broke down every single drill, every single swing thought, and every single setup change. And none of that information is going to help you. In fact, if you copy most of those drills, you're probably going to end up worse than how you started. However, underneath all those drills and tactics are 5 timeless principles that will actually help you get better at golf. Every principle is attempting to solve a certain mistake. And mistake number 1 is you stand over the ball thinking about where your elbow is going to go, or if you're breathing in, or do you breathe out during your downswing? And then the ball is just an afterthought. The shot itself becomes an afterthought. 9 times across these 7 videos, players reference seeing the shot before they even hit it.
Like the shot, you know, like if we had a shot tracer on it, I could see the cut right now and I can feel it.
Here's the wonderful and terrifying thing about our brains is that they organize around what we're focused on. So if I have a certain picture in my head, my brain knows what to focus on, positive or negative.
The big thing is like the start line. If there's like a tree in front of you, it's easier to sort of shape something.
If I haven't given my brain something to think about regarding the shot, where I want it to land, or shot shape, I'm most likely going to default back to mechanical thoughts, which is going to lead to hesitation and tension, both of which are awful in the golf swing.
Always think about it, right? If you've got all the time in the world, you know, you ball up a piece of paper or whatever and you just chuck it in the trash can. Usually goes in. But if you stand there and you think about it, and the more and more, like you see it, guys do it all the time. The extra waggle, you're like, oh boy, this isn't going to be good.
So next time you watch Tour Pro content, or you get to overhear a caddy player conversation during a PGA Tour event, listen for outcome language versus input language. Are they talking about, oh man, I want you to really focus on taking the club away inside here? Or are they focused on, we want the ball to start there, curve back, land here, so on and so forth? The driving range is a great place to practice this. Pick a specific target, see the ball flight, see where it lands, and then just go try to do it. The caveat to this is seeing a shot is only helpful if the shot that you're seeing is one you can actually hit. Here's mistake number 2, and I want you to picture this with me for a second. You've got water right, pins back right, we've got the wind a little bit into us, and we're 170 yards out. So we try to hit this nice little fade to this back right pin, and the problem is you haven't hit an intentional fade in 4 months. Most weekend warriors think that pro golfers shape the ball to every single pin, every which way, but the reality is they don't.
Certain shot shape you like?
Draws.
Which ones go in the fairway though?
Fades.
Okay.
So why would you or I think that just because we prefer a shot shape, that's the one that we should rely on? The principle underneath all of this is that understanding and playing your stock shot will save you countless strokes. The next time that one of our favorite tours posts a full round of a certain player, pay attention to how often they're changing shot shape with, say, their irons. What you'll notice is it's mostly the same shot over and over and over again. However, for every golfer, it is incredibly important to understand how to hit these other shots, but only when it's completely necessary. And most of the time when we go away from our stock shot, it's not necessary, we just chose to do it. Your stock shot does not necessarily equal your favorite shot. So think through, what's the shot that shows up when you're not really thinking about anything? And we're gonna play that shot, according to Colin Morikawa, at least 80% of the time.
You know, 80% of the time I'm hitting that cut.
Now you've got a picture of what you want to do and a shot that you can hit. Now we got to execute. And this is where it starts to get hard. Mistake number 3 is standing over the ball with a checklist in your mind. I got to keep my left arm straight, and then I got to pronate my wrist, and I got to turn, and then that's all, there's too much. You're trying to commit to the 3 YouTube tips and the 2 Instagram tips and the 1 tip from your buddy who's really good at golf. And what happens is you hit this super uncommitted kind of shot. Most things in life, more preparation and more thought results in a better outcome. That's just not the case with sports.
And what's one swing thought that you want to achieve on this?
1, not 3, not a checklist, just 1 simple thing. The principle here is that you need 1 simple swing thought. Your brain can't process multiple instructions during this 1.5 second swing, but 1 clear thought is going to organize your movement. If we try to incorporate multiple thoughts, that's going to naturally incorporate hesitation, and hesitation is going to lead to a bad golf swing.
As soon as I had a doubt about my alignment, that changes this.
Of course, yeah.
If I'm thinking I'm there, but I'm here, or the other way around, this has got to move. And that put me off.
Before you take the club back, make sure you have one clear thought. Because a committed swing with mechanics will beat out a hesitant swing with elite mechanics. Now, even with one thought and full commitment, you're gonna miss. That's just part of the game. But understanding how to play those misses can be the difference between you shooting a 90 and you shooting an 82. I'm not gonna pick on anybody in particular, so I'll just pick on myself, but I have a tendency to miss right with my long irons. And so when I do miss, I often act like, oh my gosh, where did that come from? Why am I surprised? It happens all the time. Most of us think that the key to getting better is just straight out eliminating that miss, when in reality, it's playing for it.
I think that's just what I do now. I play my misses. You know, you got to know what your misses are. So when I hit that cut, I know my miss is going to be right. If I tilt a little bit, you know, we're going to peel it off a little short right.
This is a guy with multiple major wins, and he's actively playing for a miss. You'd think that one of the premier iron players of all time would be never thinking about where he's going to miss.
My little slap slicer goes so short, but I can control it.
The GOAT, and you can fight me on this, but you're wrong, he's the GOAT, doesn't think that forcing a draw is worth the risk. So he plays a reliable shot and accepts wherever the miss ends up. The principle underneath all this is to know your miss and plan for it. Everyone has a consistent miss pattern. Even if you're going, Isaac, I've got a two-way miss, I promise. In one way or another, you've got one that you do more often. There's your consistent miss. Once you accept what that miss is and plan for it, course management and committing to shots becomes so much easier. Think about your last few rounds. Where did the majority of your worst misses go? Moving forward, simply take that into account. If we're playing, like I said, a big old cut with a long iron, just aim left of the green until you start hitting it left of the green. Now we've visualized our stock shot and we've accounted for our miss and we're fully committed, but there's one last thing that can kind of undo all that. Mistake number 5 is hitting a bad shot on the 4th hole and then spending the next 3 trying to fix it. Confession time here. I've got a note in my notes app full of old swing thoughts and swing feels, and I literally go to that. I start experimenting with my grip or my setup, and I'm trying to rebuild mid-round. And then by hole 7, I've lost more balls and my mind. Human nature is to try to fix the problem right then and there, but you're probably just going to turn this round into a glorified driving range session where you never figure anything out.
So I'm not like crazy attached to what the last ball I did was.
Yeah.
I've hit, I think I can't remember one of the majors, I hit like, the last ball I hit was like a snap hook, and then like I had to get in a cart ride and then like sit in the cart to the first tee and like
Think about it.
Yeah, but I was just like, you know, whatever. Like this doesn't mean anything.
The principle underneath all this, the course is for just going and playing the game, and the range is for adjusting and prepping. When you mix those two things, you're gonna do neither of them well. Listen to how tour pros talk about bad shots during rounds. They note them and they move on. They're not trying to adjust right then and there. And if they are trying to fix something, we can go back a few principles and realize that they understand their misses and their tendencies so much better than we do that they know what it takes to fix it mid-round. On the course, just trust what you brought. You've got two options with every single shot. You can either trust it and take your chances, or not trust it and know it's going to be a bad shot. Note your misses and move on. You now have these 5 principles and how to implement them. But more importantly, you now have the skill of being able to identify these principles as you're watching content. Identifying those principles boils down to 3 questions. What problem are they trying to solve? What's the principle underneath that problem? And how can I apply that principle to my game? Most golfers watch content and copy the tactics. Now you know how to watch content, identify principles, and successfully apply those principles to your game. That's how you turn golf content from a distraction into an asset that translates into skills that compound and allow you to actually get better over time. So next time that you head to the range or a simulator or to the golf course, pick just one of these principles and apply it. The best players in the world clearly are not trying to build Rome in one day. They're doing a few intentional things with intense clarity. Thanks for watching. See you next time.